Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It's always so good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. New to the channel, welcome. We're so glad you joined us. So today we are just taking a look at what Spirit has in store for you, kind of like a little bit of a heads up, seeing what messages need to come through. So let's jump into it. Let's see what's on the horizon. You have Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. Now, it's kind of interesting because it's the number 6, and the number 6 is the Gemini energy in the Tarot. I'm a Gemini sun too. It's the energy of the Lover's card, okay? Now, this doesn't have to be about love, but there is something here about whatever new things that you are trying to start. It's the importance of laying a solid foundation, right? It's kind of like understanding if you're going to build a skyscraper, you can't build it on sand. You have to make sure, right, that it has a solid foundation and it can support the success, the height of the skyscraper. Because I feel like you have something perhaps coming in that is long term. You know, it's so funny. I've never even noticed this, but if you look, they're showing me it's kind of like 2 twigs the beaver has there that are kind of like crossed. And the energy I'm getting, it's kind of like you've had your fingers crossed for some time about this situation, allowing yourself to recognize, oh, you have faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Yeah, there's something new that is coming onto your path, but okay, Gemini, we have to recognize that one of our most adorable traits, and yet at the same time can be a little bit of our own self-sabotaging, is that we can sometimes jump into new ideas, relationships, situations into our life. We get so excited, right? It's kind of like, oh, that looks so fun, or, oh, I've been having my fingers crossed for some time, hoping this opportunity or person would come knocking at my door, right? And now here's the opportunity, right? And you're so excited that you jump, okay, both feet into the deep end, right? But one of the things is that we have to, with this card, remind ourselves that if we don't lay a solid foundation, okay, we're not going to have the success in that relationship, that job, that career, that new business. It could even be with this card, a new home, right? It's kind of like if you're building a skyscraper, you can't build it on sand. You first of all have to make sure you hire an architect, right? And engineers that know how to support the future skyscraper, right? And then it's kind of like they work a very long time on that foundation, because experience has probably shown you that if you don't build a solid foundation, then you're not going to acquire the success in this situation or a situation, right, that you would like to have. There's something here about you have come so far learning healthy boundaries, right? Learning not to overgive or to situations or people, not to make decisions out of fear, right? Instead, making them out of love. This could be about really allowing yourself time to take good care of yourself so that you have the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health and well-being in order to not get burned out, to be able to sustain this big success, whatever this is that's coming in. It feels very successful. But it's really important for you to have the routines, the habits, the mindsets, the behaviors that will help you to sustain this success. Otherwise, you know, if you've had situations before, a job or a relationship, right, where you just felt overwhelmed, you felt totally drained by that person or that situation. It could be a job, right? And you worked so hard at the job that you would come home at the end of the day and you didn't have the energy to feed yourself a proper dinner and exercise, right? You could have gotten all caught up in your head about the job or whatever, and then had trouble sleeping. This is you really working on building those solid foundations for yourself, those habits. There's something really, I don't normally go here. I almost feel like this is a relationship that's coming in. But Spirit is saying, one of the things that you may need to do here is really allow yourself to let go of what has occurred in the past. And that could be even letting go of the mindsets, okay, around how much you need to give to a relationship or your expectations of a relationship. There's something here to allow yourself to recognize you've outgrown some type of mindset or habit. And it's time to allow yourself to step into building a solid foundation, whether that is with a person, right? A job, a career, a new home. But it's kind of like, before you jump into it, think about past experiences and how the foundation that you built, and the foundation is the plan, right? Really executing the plan, having the wherewithal in your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health to be able to see it through. If you've ever quit a job, right, because you're just so drained, it's so toxic, right? Allowing yourself to recognize, I'm not saying it's not about regrets, it's about learning from the experience. What did you learn from that experience? I don't want to say that you're going to go back and do things differently, right? That's not the mindset here, but it is a little bit about allowing yourself to recognize what could you have worked on with the foundation in a more focused way instead of getting so excited about the fun stuff, okay? I will have to say that as a teacher, I'm a retired teacher. As a teacher, I recognized that the first week was all about, right, getting to know the students, letting them get to know me, setting up the healthy boundaries, right, of the classroom, helping the students to learn about them, the procedures of our classroom, right, sitting together and creating our classroom rules. It used to almost drive me insane because I was one of those teachers. I wanted the kids active and learning, right? I wanted to get to the learning stuff. But I had learned through the years that the more time you put into those rules, procedures, mindsets, that first week, that first month of school, really, right? You're just ingraining that in the students and in your classroom environment as a teacher. So it's kind of like allowing yourself to recognize, yes, how do I want to show up to this new situation? What will help me to be successful in the situation, but also to be able to maintain that success so that I'm not drained, that I don't quit it. If you've ever quit anything because you're like, I'm just too exhausted, I can't do this anymore, right? It's time to allow yourself to recognize how your foundations, your boundaries, your routines, your habits, your mindsets, partially, okay, set you up for that energy of feeling drained and I can't do this anymore, right? And we've all been there. We've all been there, Gemini, right? We've all been there where it's just kind of like, I can't take this anymore. This is that energy of understanding something new, something spectacular, because you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Fates card here, you have faraway places, something new, something magical, something spectacular that you have really been wanting for a long time is headed your way. And Spirit is saying, if you don't have those routines and habits in place for your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and for Geminis, this means maybe really concentrating on creating a meditation routine for yourself, making sure that you have built into your every single day your sleep, a healthy sleep routine, a healthy nutrition routine, drinking your water, getting your exercise, journaling, right? allowing yourself to understand that that is going to be so important as you move forward. And this opportunity, right, is just, oh my goodness. And you know what? You have the Judgment card. This is your purpose. This is why you are here. And everything that you have been through, especially the painful things, right, have helped to prepare you for this moment, have helped to prepare you for the success. It's a little bit about understanding you're a little bit like an Olympian. They're saying Olympian, right? You're kind of like an Olympian athlete. You have been preparing. You know, a lot of those Olympian athletes, they started in their sport like when they were 2 or 3, right? It's kind of like you have literally been preparing for whatever this is. The love of your life, the job of your life, a business that is just going to be so phenomenal, right? In alignment with your life purpose. Whatever this is, it's time to allow yourself to let go of the mindsets, the behaviors that keep you small and don't allow you to be at your highest potential. It's kind of like, I have to say, with the Judgment card here, it's kind of like being really honest with yourself, Gemini, right? This is you sitting down with yourself and really allowing yourself to say, okay, I get it. I'm intellectual, I'm witty, I'm creative, I'm curious. I'm all in. When I do something, I'm all in. But I also understand I see a pattern in my life where when I go all in, I also sometimes get burned or burned out, right? Whatever has occurred for you, right? You've overgiven, right? You've done more than your fair share. You've tried to please everybody else on the team or anybody else that's involved in a relationship or situation. You're understanding healthy boundaries with others, but healthy boundaries with yourself is so important, right? Committing to your health routines. I feel like, we still have Virgo in the South Node for all of the collective at this time. And allowing yourself to recognize Virgo is the 6th house. Virgo is our daily habits and routines. And we're coming to the end of this time period with Virgo in the South Node and understanding. This is kind of like Virgo coming in and saying, I've been trying to get you to start that exercise routine. Or maybe you started it, but then something else came along and you quickly shifted to something else, right? There's been this nudge. I feel like this has been a little bit of a nudge from the universe, trying to get you to find a routine, a daily habit, right? And I know Gemini, because I'm a Gemini, we kind of want to fight that. We want to have our spontaneity. We want to, pack our suitcase and go away for the weekend if we want to, right? But this is also understanding. This isn't just anything or anyone that's coming onto your path. This is something that you have had your wishes and hopes and dreams, fingers crossed, hoping that it would come in, and it's coming in. And it's allowing yourself to say, am I ready for it? Do I have, an Olympian? It's not just about practicing, say you were in track. It's not just practicing running, right? They spend time in the weight room. They spend time with a nutritionist, right? There's so many different aspects. We watch them run one race in a matter of seconds or minutes, right? But there's so much that goes behind it. And this is you recognizing the importance of all of that. Do you need to make more time in your calendar, in your schedule for whatever this is? A relationship, a business, a project, whatever this is, it's kind of like, have you made the time for it? Are there things that you're putting your time and energy into that really aren't in alignment with what this is? I think there's part of that there too, right? Understanding, are you scattered and keeping busy? She has these 3 dogs that are pulling her in different directions. Are these friends, family members, different ideas that you have. But it's time to allow yourself to say, I'm focusing in on the one thing that I really and truly desire. Doesn't mean you can't have the other things too, Gemini, but there's something here about really focusing, really allowing yourself to go there, to know that it is possible for you. And it's kind of like, allow yourself to get ready for it, whatever that might mean. It's kind of, I'm hearing the Rocky theme, right? Da, 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 da. It's kind of a little bit like that. You're Rocky. You're preparing for the fight of your life, except that this isn't a fight, right? This is exactly what you have been hoping for. Your fear is that there could be someone or another situation that comes back, right? You're like, well, I don't know. I think you're torn. Your heart is torn. Do I really go for this? Because if I go for this, it does mean I may need to either walk away, or I may need to distance myself from some people and some situations that are just draining me or are not supporting me. It's allowing yourself to say, if I need to walk away from some other things in my life, I'm willing to do that because this is what I really and truly desire. This is like your dream, right? This is truly your dream. If you think about it, in Rocky, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, right? But I think he has a little bit of trouble getting really pumped up for the fight, for training for the fight, right? With, I think it was Apollo. And it's not until right, Adrian comes onto the scene that he kind of has a reason. I feel like there's something that is occurring where all of a sudden you're getting that spark of inspiration. You're understanding this is my opportunity, right? You can meet a new person that is a catalyst for you to become successful in your career, right? Or a business partner, somebody, you go to a conference or something, you meet somebody and they're kind of like, yeah, that would be fun. You're sharing your ideas. Oh, I could add this to it. And then off you go, right? It could be a romantic partner, right? And allowing yourself to recognize, okay, if I'm bringing something new into my life, yes, it does mean I have to allow myself to let go of some other people or situations, I may just need to distance myself. They don't get as much time and energy from me because there's something I really want to go after. Because here's the thing. You have the Empress energy and the World card. You are no longer observing life. You are getting ready to live life. And that is where I just feel like it's so, it's literally out of this world, right? The success of this, whether it's a relationship or, I'm actually filming this on the new moon in Libra. And, this is actually a good time for us to attract in a new partner, a new romantic partner, or even a new home for ourselves, or a new successful business. Or if you have a business, having it expand to, literally out of this world, right? It's so successful, but in order to be able to, it's not, like, I feel like the success is coming. The thing is that Spirit is trying to let you know you have to have the solid foundation before it comes in. And the solid foundation is partly with this person or situation, but I feel like it's really with you. Having the mindset that you will be successful in this new endeavor, right? Or having the routines and the habits that help you to have the energy that you will need in order to sustain this. There's something here about understanding you're really and truly preparing for something so special in your life. And you have been preparing for this for a long time. But it's a little bit like, when you get really close to the Olympics or something. And I used to have a babysitter and she was a swimmer. She would just, it was just so super focused. right? She would just be, every single morsel that went into her mouth, how much water she drank, the sleep, she was just like so super focused. And I think that's what this energy is. It's kind of like, no, don't let shiny objects take you off of the finish line. You're getting close to the finish line, right? You're about to cross some threshold and really be catapulted into major success, whether that's a relationship or career or whatever it is that you've been trying to manifest. It is coming. So prepare. All right, Gemini, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Where am I called to use my voice right now? Yeah, I feel like this is, you're stepping into your own, right? So it says you have a soul script that was written to be spoken. Your story matters, and it's time for you to share it with the world. Here you are. You're sharing your story. You're sharing your story with people who want to connect with you, whether that's through your business, a project that you want to bring into life, right? It's also the energy of connecting to other people, right? Whether that's friends, family, romantic partner. You are ready to really take the world on storm. Is that what it is? Yeah, there's something here about really and truly believing and knowing that you are creating your reality. And if you don't believe that, it's time to allow yourself to start really focusing on that you are creating your reality, because that is exactly what is happening. This is something you have wanted for a long time. You've been working on manifesting this for a long time. So get ready. Here it comes. All right, Gemini, I am so excited for you. I'm excited for me too. That's really kind of a lovely energy. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.